Today, me and my wife and my son went to Target, and he had a meltdown. I mean, he's a kid. Sometimes he was really sleepy and tired. Well, sleepy, tired, something, yeah. But he just cranky. And so basically, I was like, hey, you go ahead and finish what we're getting. I'll take him out to the car because we just didn't want him in the store screaming. So I picked him up, carried him outside, put him in the vehicle and everything. But during this whole process, when I picked him, started carrying him out, he started screaming and crying, saying he wants his mommy, go that way, want mommy. And so basically, we're at the back of the store. I walked through the entire store, out the front door, down the parking lot, him screaming and crying, saying this, and got in our vehicle. And after I put him in, I'm sitting there, and he's still in the back seat. He's saying he wants mommy and everything. I was thinking, wow, nobody in the entire place even batted an eye. You're thinking, but okay, why should they? Because there's somebody carrying a kid out, screaming, saying, I want my mommy. I'm thinking, how easy would it have been if that could have been anybody that could have picked him up and was carrying him out? And it's like, it's kind of scary. I just never thought about it. And until today, I was like, wow. I mean, you saw you're going by people that have kids and everything, and they understand. They like, yep, I remember that time when my kids did that, and they either stayed in the store or they went out, they took them outside. But still, yeah. I mean, it's like, how do you? I mean, I understand you can't stop it. I mean, if you stopped everybody's kid did that, you'd probably be stopping like every other parent because it does happen quite a bit. Because and you'll be in a store, you'll hear a kid screaming and crying, and you'll hear one of the parents say, "I'm going to take him back out to the vehicle." And it's just, but when you think about it, you're like, wow, nobody has even said anything. And now, granted, if somebody loses their child, they're probably going to say something pretty quickly, start screaming, start looking for them, and it might cause a commotion. But if somebody's kid like turned the aisle or something, they thought, and somebody actually grabbed them and walked out to their car. I mean, really, 5 minutes. If I could be in the back of the store, you could probably. I'm pretty sure I made it out of the store into my vehicle in less than 5 minutes. And it's probably going to take somebody 5 minutes, well, a few minutes to realize that their kid is lost. And they're going to look around that section that they're at. Like if they're in the toys, they're going to look in the toys. Oh, where is he? They're going to run back and forth. While you're doing that, the person that's grabbing them would just be out of the store. And if there's somebody at the front of the store, like, waiting on them, they're going to just jump in a vehicle and zoom, they're gone. More things to worry about while you're in it, while you're a parent. That have been something that never would have crossed my mind years ago. It's like, oh yeah, it's just, wouldn't even think about it. Now it's like, holy cow, what if that did happen? What would I do? Like now, like really, like when Adrian's in the store, he is in front of me, and I'm looking directly at him. And if he starts to walk away, I call him back. And a lot of times, like if we're walking back and forth through stuff, I have him holding on to my hand, or he's holding on to my pointer finger. But sometimes he doesn't want to do that. And like, okay, like today, I was looking at some clothes for him, and I said, "Hey, Adrian, look at this." He goes, "Ooh, cool," and because it's a Paw Patrol thing, and I put it back on the rack, and then I looked back, and he had turned the corner, not, but basically it was one of those things in the middle of the aisle, and he had went from directly in front of me around the side, and that's where his my wife was. But I was like, "Do you see him?" She's like, "Oh yeah, he's right here with me." But literally, it's like, what would what would I do? But literally, it's like, "Do you like this?" Yes. Hang back up, and you look back. I mean, it was 3 4 seconds, and they can quickly disappear. You never even think about that. So yeah, when you're in a store, pay attention to your kids. I understand you can't be like don't be a helicopter parent, and I'm trying not to be, and I don't think I am. But I do try to keep an eye on him, make sure he's safe. I don't want him to be out of my sight. But today I saw people that they have 3 kids with them, and I understand if you have 3 kids, it's next to impossible to keep an eye on all 3 of them. But there was a kid looking at this. There was like the board games, like the older kid, and the mom was standing there with them, and the younger kid was in an aisle like 2 aisles down, and down it the one where where a bunch of the toy cars and stuff were, and he walked to the end of the aisle and said, "Mommy, can I get this?" She says, "You better not leave that aisle." And I'm thinking, and I mean, I was there with Adrian for quite some time. That the little boys, and they're just looking around everything. He was well behaved and everything, but this woman, like, nobody looked at him. I mean, if somebody would grabbed him, or somebody would have said, "Hey, you come here, look at this," or "Hey, your mom's over here, she wants you to come to her," she would never have known. It would have been some time before she'd have known it, because that boy was in there probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just in there looking at it by himself. And one thing I will never do, well, I'll probably never do, I see a lot of people doing it, is have their kids on the leashes, like with and I'm like, oh no, I don't think I want to do that. I don't know. I see it, and I'm just like, I don't know. That for some reason that just seems too far for me. But if I had a kid that was kidnapped and I got him back, I'd probably never leave the house again. That's not a laughing matter, but it's what I mean. It's like if that situation comes up, I don't know what I'd do. I can't say it. But since it hasn't, what I'm looking at, I want Adrian to be independent. I want him to be able to do things. I want him to think for himself. And if I lock him in a little room, or basically put him on a short leash, it's very difficult. I mean, because it's hard for somebody to grow in that type of environment. So I don't mean physically grow, I mean like developmentally. So that's what I'm trying to not do. And I'm hoping that I'm succeeding, and I'm hoping I'm helping him, and I'm hoping I'm letting him grow and develop the way he should. But keep an eye on your kids. Not when I was young, before I had Adrian, I thought, yeah, keep an eye on your kids, because they're annoying. They break stuff. They scream. They holler. Now that I have Adrian, I'm like, keep an eye on your kids, because it's really easy to lose them. And I never thought of it before, but me being able to get a target with a screaming child that was screaming, "I want my mommy," kind of scared me. Talk to you tomorrow.